It's not an object. It's not an object for them.
Yeah, well said.
Everyone will be fine.
Where's everybody going for their PCV, their post-COVID vacation?
New
I'm
York.
getting the shots first, then I'll decide.
From everybody I know is already making their plans for early 2021, or was it, I guess we're in 2021, 22, right? Everyone's making their plans for what they're going to do over the holidays or early next year. That's right. Hayden, you're going to Maui. Wish that was me.
Where's Joey? Ed, are you running the meeting today then?
No, not me. This is this is look at Hayden. Round trip flights to Maui for $188.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's if you want to travel and go be somewhere. I'm not.
I'd love to book a flight now for, holidays.
Yeah, but it's a restriction. If you look at the dates, it's only good for 3 months.
Yeah.
You have to go now by April or May, and I'm not willing to do that right
Yeah,
now.
I'm with you on that. I'm all about staying safe.
I mean, I need to go. Like, I need to go. My 25th anniversary was last April, and we were supposed to go on a trip. And of course, that didn't happen. So
That's funny, Mindy. My wife and I were the same. Our 20th anniversary was last October, and we were going to go back to where we did our honeymoon in Kauai, and just couldn't do it.
yep, we got married in Maui, so I wanted to go back too. And trust me, I want to do it now. I see other people doing it and I'm drooling. And I say to myself, I'm not willing to go and eat with other people I don't live with. Why would I go fly and go to Maui or anywhere? I'm not. Nope, I'm going to wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to visit my parents and be able to give them a hug before I go on a vacation.
Thank you. I haven't seen my mom since last October in back east. I agree, Tracy.
Hey, there's our fearless leader.
There's Joey.
How is everybody doing today?
Hey.
Hi, Mindy, Barry, everybody. Ed.
Hello, senor. I was just warming up the crowd. I was like a two-bit comedian getting the crowd warmed up before the main event.
You did a good job, Ed.
It's much appreciated. I'm having some issues with my speakers in my computer, but I can hear you. It's just through a little box about this big. It's like I'm listening through it's worse than the phone, but I'll fix that.
Hey, Joey, if you go to the bottom left of your screen where it says mute, there's a little carrot thing with a little arrow pointing up right next to it, right where it says mute.
Yeah.
If you click on that arrow, they now have you can select the speakers right there. That could be what you got going on.
Let's try that.
Oh, wow.
You're like a genius.
Only when it comes to how to use Zoom, because I'm on it like every minute of the day.
It was all good until I went on to Blue Jean yesterday, and I did a meeting on Blue Jean, and that screwed it all up for some reason.
I can hear you great though.
No, I can hear now.
You sound good.
Ed fixed it.
Remotely, nice.
Remotely, yes, exactly. All right, how's everybody doing today? Merlin is on the case here, and we're gonna, we'll roll into Tell Me Something Good. How's that? How's everybody? Please tell me something good.
All right, I got something good.
Thank you, Tim.
I saw this thing on Hulu the other night, and I've been telling people about it. It's hard to define. It's a one-man show. It's called In and of Itself. It was done off Broadway, and you watch. There's a little bit of magic to it. There's a little bit, but it transcends the whole thing. I sent it to a buddy of mine who's a big muckety muck at HBO. And he texted me back. He goes, "We were blown away. My wife and I, we were in tears. Not laughing, but in tears emotionally." It's just, and just to give you, I'll put it in the chat in the link.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, people show up at this show and there's a wall of cards, little cards. And it says, "I am a realtor. I am a wife. I am a mom." But it's a wall and people pick one. And then he tears it in, the person in front tears it in back. You keep yours. He takes them. And then he goes through the show and at certain times picks them up and talks to that person. Okay, who did this? Why? It will blow you away. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. If you don't have Hulu, get the free trial and then, cancel it. But it will be worth it 100%.
All right. In and of itself.
In and of itself. And it will blow everyone away. I guarantee it.
Okay, cool.
It's cathartic.
All right. I'm in.
Thank you.
Sure.
Tim is like the best promoter in the history of mankind.
I know. I'm speaking from the heart, man. I'm telling you. And it's great. And it's great to watch it, with a group, because you will be watching this and you have to turn to the people next to you and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." And you'll look at them being emotionally affected by it. It's amazing.
I'm so checking it out.
You have to.
That's what I need. I need more emotion in my life. But mine, not somebody else's. No.
Anyway, I'll put the link in the chat.
All right, I'm in. I am totally in. Who else has, it's much deeper than my recommendation, which was the TikTok tomato and feta cheese pasta recipe, which was absolutely amazing. It's the trending recipe on TikTok. Just like baking cherry tomatoes and a big block of feta cheese with olive oil and oregano and salt and pepper, and then you mix it in with garlic and cheese and more Parmesan cheese and basil. It was amazing. Amazing. Somebody said put in the link. Okay.
There you go, Joey.
I don't know how to do that. I'll give you the recipe. Anybody who wants it. It's so simple. It's like it's an easy meal. Who else has something good?
On Friday, I took my mom to get vaccinated in Downey, and it was like clockwork. I mean, we pulled in, and 30 minutes later, we were already even done with our wait time. We left. Super friendly, super well organized. We were both just really impressed by the whole thing.
Where was that? In Whittier?
Downey. And they cleared out this huge parking lot, and everything's coned off. So as soon as you even get close to it, they kind of let you in, like, "Hey, here's the signs, here's what you need to do." And they have people all along the way that just keep saying, "Have this ready, have this ready, have this ready." And then it's boom, 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 boom. And it was Friday when everything was pouring rain and people were still super friendly.
Oh, wow. And you have to sit there for 15 minutes afterwards?
In the car. Yeah. As soon as you get the shot, you just pull forward and you're just in a waiting area. And then they mark on your windshield when you actually got the shot. And so as soon as you hit 15 minutes, then they wave you on.
Excellent. Congratulations to you. Right? Yeah, I'd like to hear that. And more every week. I want to hear more and more people getting vaccinated. That's great news. Great news. Anyone else before we move on? Don't be shy. All right.
There's a great documentary on PBS, which I couldn't find PBS with all the streaming services, but I just did it, PBS SoCal, on my computer last night. It's Paul R. Williams, the Black architect.
Oh, yeah.
And last night was the first night, and it's called, I think, Hollywood Architect. It was well worth the hour of watching it. It was really great.
It's been around for a while, or is it?
No, it's new.
It's brand new. Oh, because I did a documentary on him. He's really interesting. He was a really interesting, prolific architect, and in our area, he did tons of work. Yeah. Love
I
it.
have something funny, Joey.
Bring it on.
Okay, so my husband posted a picture of my son building the Tony Stark arc reactor. Because my son does all that engineering. I can't even use his computer, so I don't know how he does it. So he built this arc reactor and they posted it, and all these fans of my husband are making gifs of my little boy. And the funniest one is Colton Pence was able to build this in a cave with a box of Legos. It's like a quote from the movie. So my little tiny boy is trending on Twitter. So maybe one of the fans will need a house.
Woohoo! Well, and to that point, you have serviced some of your husband's fans.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I have. They reach out to me, and I think it's really just to meet him. But hell, I'll take it.
I don't see the downside.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. I've been very fortunate this year with that. So yeah. So anyway, I thought that was funny because it's just when you look at your phone and that's trending like your little kid.
I love it. You now have a complete family brand, right? Your husband and your son are all like, you're all participating in the family brand.
I always say we're a perfect triangle. I'm so glad and we're a team. That's it. We're a really good team. Where one person is like weak, the other one pulls it up. So we're in it. It's really great.
That's really lovely. Seriously, it's really quite lovely. All right, let's unless someone else has something to share, we're going to share Rob's event that's coming up in what's today's date?
Next Wednesday night.
All right, 7 days away. Next Wednesday. Go ahead, Rob. Let it go.
So far, I mentioned this last week, and I put together the lineup, and we're having, as you can see, some of the clips from the past lip sync, some of our best of, and we're also we just got our local councilwoman. She's sharing a testimony from somebody who came from the shelter. Probably all total, the whole event's going to be only about 30 minutes of your time, so it'll be short and sweet, to the point. It'll be entertaining. There'll be a way, it's free. So all you have to do is just log on. That's it. It's a streaming event. And if you want to donate, there's even a way to do that. That's all facilitated in there. But it's just a great way to see, we highlight what the shelter does, what our mission is, what our purpose, and how it's making a difference for people, victims of domestic abuse.
Yeah, if you could post Lena's asking for the link in there, that'd be great. And my question is your little performance from last year, was it?
2 years ago, but we decided, especially for the first one, we didn't want it to seem like it was self-indulgent. So any of us on the committee, no, but next year the stilettos may show up.
Okay. Barn burner, yeah, for sure. And I would sign on just for that. You should have just teased us with it. Or just send us the link so we can, or send us the link to the actual, that performance so we can enjoy it one more time. All right. Happenings this week. What do we got going there? Ed?
Morning check-in, 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Come join us. Little chance to put a little, it's like a shot of espresso for your business in the morning. We do a little gratitude. We talk a little business. We set our intentions for the day, and then we get off and we take off and make all our calls and book appointments. So great way to start your morning.
I always feel better when I start it there.
Well, it's great to have you there. It's always good when you're there. So with coaching, here's my tip for the day. So for coaching, I'll say this for everybody who's a coaching client. We're going through in February, talking all about listings, listing process, all that kind of good stuff. My tip for you guys would be one thing that's a really easy add to your repertoire. If hopefully you guys are already doing this, but if you don't, one thing that is super easy to add in is to do a pre-listing appointment questionnaire, pre-qualifying your listing presentations. There's a great script for doing that in the Ignite toolkit. it's so easy. Like the minute you set a listing appointment, you say, oh, great. Well, I'm totally looking forward to our appointment, Thursday at 5:00. In order to be professionally prepared for our appointment, there's a few questions I need to ask you. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes. It'll save us a bunch of time when I get there. Is now a good time to ask you? And if so, all you do is just start asking the questions in the questionnaire. It will save you a lot of trouble in the listing appointment if you do the questionnaire ahead of time. There you go. There's my tip for the day.
Thank you, Ed. Night 2.0, we have a few classes coming up. As you know, it's 11:45 to 12:45, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I think that if you go next, you might have a few of them lined up. No? All right. What do we have coming up for, what do we have coming up for Ignite? Who's teaching tomorrow? Do you know, Ed, off the top of your head?
I don't off the top of my head, no. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
All right.
I don't have that at my fingertips.
Good. Don't worry about it. We'll, we know the class is 11:45 tomorrow. We're about halfway through that, right?
Yeah, about a third of the way through. Yeah.
Third of the way. Great. All right, Howie. I don't believe Howie's on today, but if you are, raise your hand, Howie. No, all right. Let's move forward to Andy, who's having. All right, Andy. Andy is having technical difficulties. She's having new Wi-Fi put in her house, so she's not able to jump on today. Sorry about that. But Raha is.
Hi,
Hey, Raha. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. Sorry if the hi was too loud. I got excited. I am doing well, thanks. How are you doing?
I think I'm doing okay.
Good, good. I hope everyone's doing well. So today I wanted to talk about appraisals. And so I wanted to just mention that people are, when they write all cash offers, there's a checkbox on the RPA.
I'm not sure if the gardener comes today.
There's a checkbox on the RPA where it says all cash, and it says that the loan contingency is waived when you click that box. But I want to let everyone know that if you do not check the appraisal box, that you're waiving that as well, the buyers will have that contingency in place. So appraisal is a standalone contingency, and it's not just used for loan. They would still have that appraisal contingency unless it's removed or countered out in the counter phase. As you all know, buyers entitled to know whether the property is worth the sales price, regardless of financing. Sorry, and
also, the buyer is also, even if the buyer relinquishes their appraisal contingency, they do have just like their inspection contingency, they do have the right to do an appraisal.
Absolutely.
And they do
Absolutely.
have the right to conduct inspections, right?
Yes.
If they
So
have
if absolutely, you're entitled to do everything. But if you're representing the seller and you receive an all cash offer and they have not checked off that appraisal box, they still have that contingency and they can still cancel because of that. So if you are on the listing side and if you don't want them to have the appraisal contingency, you have to counter that out. And if you're representing buyers and they want to have that option, you could just leave it blank. But just
I think a few years ago, if you checked all cash, then it would automatically take off your loan contingency, right?
it does still, yeah, it
Yeah, right.
does.
But I think it also maybe several years ago also took off your appraisal contingency, or you would have
Yeah, it doesn't anymore. A lot of people, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because a lot of agents think that it does. And because it's an all cash deal and no loan, they assume that those two are waived, but they are not, or the appraisal is not, at least. So just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention if you are dealing with all cash deals.
Yeah, especially from the seller side, be cognizant that All cash deal
Right.
does not mean that they're relinquishing their appraisal contingency. It does mean that they're relinquishing their loan contingency because there's no loan, but not their
Yes.
appraisal contingency, right?
Correct.
Quick question,
Uh,
Raha.
Yes. Hi.
Is there, I believe, I don't remember what it's called, but is there an additional form that you can get them to sign as well, removing everything?
Well, you'll have the contingency removal. So if you want to submit an offer and remove contingencies, you can always add that contingency removal form. That's the one we have.
Yeah, Carlos, what a lot of agents do to kind of solidify, to make their offer look stronger when they're like having no contingency offer, is to include the contingency removal form with that offer. Is that about correct, Rahul?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Is that what you're alluding to, Carlos? Is that what you're asking
Yeah,
about?
but in the past I had to ask for that because nobody really offers that. If
No,
you're the seller.
it's
Yeah.
not, it's not the norm, but yeah, that will, I think that's a good idea for a seller's representative to ask. And if a buyer's representative is looking to make their offer stronger right off the bat, I think that that's good to include, but not mandatory.
Yeah. Agreed.
As far as I know. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Raha. That was great.
Of course. No, that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Good afternoon. Hi, everybody. Just wanted to check in, say hi, and also let you guys know before we figure out for this office a training class. I will be doing a training class on farming today for the Calabasas Forward Living Office, KW. So if you guys are interested, want to hop on to that Facebook shares group or want the Zoom link, let me know. We'll be going over do's and don'ts of farming, where to target, and the free leads, how to manage and take advantage of those free leads.
Hey, Ben,
Again,
could you share that link in our in the chat?
Absolutely. It'll be from 2 o'clock today to around probably 3 or so. Okay.
Thank you, sir. You're the best.
You got it. Thank you.
Mindy, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Joey?
Just grand.
Thank you for having me. It's always good to see everybody.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on here. Say hi and make your presence known, right?
Yes. I'm always available if anybody has questions.
It's our preferred vendor. They're part of the Forward Living family, and we appreciate having them as part of the family.
And I love being here. Thank you. You guys ever have questions? Call me, text me, email me. I'm always available.
Thank you, Mindy. Love your background. All right, let's move on, and that is family reunion. Still, we're still not pushing it, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand the value of it, and also that it is happening between the 15th and 18th of February. Registration now. I'm not quite sure if the price went up yet or what it went up to, but
I think
does
I think it did on Friday.
Yeah, it went up, yeah.
What did it go up to?
Current price is 129 now is the current
That
price.
went up $10. All right. Again, does anybody have any questions about family reunion or the validity of it or what it's about? Can I answer any questions? I don't want to be repetitious or seeming like I'm overselling it, but it's something that I think we all believe in, and that that we believe that it will bring value to your business. You will see a multiplier in the return on your investment of taking this 3-day experience, having this 3-day experience, right? Any questions about family reunion? Okay, go on. Ed, did you want to?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta say, so
breath.
You'd be creating with especially with for having it be on via Zoom for $120 or whatever it is. is just such a bargain to have 3 days of awesome content. There is nothing that, I mean, I've said this before on the team meetings, so I don't want to eat up a lot of oxygen, but I follow a lot of economists, and never do I feel as much in tune with what's going on in the market and with the industry and trends that are happening as attending that. In particular, hearing to Gary and Jay talk when they always do like what's going on in the market, what's going on with KW. But even all the breakout sessions, you're just like staying on the zeitgeist of what's going on in the market and what's going on with realtors, and you know, you want to stay on the cutting edge. You don't want to fall behind, and there's nothing like family reunion and mega camp to make that happen.
Yeah, you will get like more talking points than you could possibly regurgitate in a year in those 3 days with your clients. The information you will get there will make you look like a superstar in front of your clients. That's the real gift, and it will elevate your understanding of the real estate market, but also help you develop your business at a higher level and understand the possibilities in your business. You know, not everyone lead generates in the same way. Not everyone's magical powers are the same. So what I love about this is you will get to, you know, if you focus your efforts in the breakout sessions in areas of interest to you, you will find a way to connect with your people that's authentic to you, because everybody does it in a different way, right? And there's not just one way. This is not a system. This is a way to build business in a holistic way. So who am I, and how do I connect with other people and offer my services in a trust relationship? And so the way each of us connect with people is different. And so you'll get to see different ways that people connect and different actions that they take to put a multiplier on that return. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see what people are doing in other parts of the country, other parts of the world actually too. And you see it and you go, I could use that. I could do that. And I could bring it into my business. And you'll be the first one in LA doing it rather than the guy that's doing it out in New Orleans or, you know, in Atlanta, whatever. But yeah, you pick up a lot of stuff. You pick up a lot of good stuff.
I'll tell you how many times in my early career in this, where my jaded self would say, oh, that's great that they have a pie day where, you know, hundreds of people come and get pies. That won't work in LA. Well, guess what? If you're the person who is a pie person and you are passionate about pies and connecting with people through pies, that will work. It'll just, I mean, that's just, it does, right? And guess what? You know, last year, or it's probably it might have been last year. There was this one, I hate to go too deep on the pie thing, but they made a short film. This one group made a short film to lead into their pie event, and it was like, you know, it was like the team having tricycle races, you know, around the parking lot, and it was hilarious. They brought something to it that just elevated it to a new level. It was just hilarious, and they have a highly successful business, right? And for that, but how you go and find your way, right? There's somebody out there who is doing an activity that is authentic to you also, right? And that you can bring into your business. Birthdays. How's it going? It's happy birthday to Paulo Chan on the 4th, Armel, Jennifer, Charlotte's coming up on the 6th, Mario Yates, Jisun on the 11th, Duran, Wendy, and our own Ed Morel on the 14th. Look at you. Happy birthday to you all. Ed's your birthday's on Valentine's Day. I never really.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. Yeah.
Good for you.
Aw, that's sweet.
Isn't it? And I never see you wearing red. Maybe we'll catch you some.
I save my pink sweater for Valentine's Day every year.
I can hardly wait. Some closed escrows this week. Red Real Estate on Cochran, Tiffany and Rachel, Jean on Leeward, Chloe, Kim, and Christina on Crisp Canyon. I think this is Chloe's first closed. Excellent. Also Core Group on Lewis and Council, Gina and Cecilia on 210th. Congratulations to you all this week. Also some new escrows. I love seeing that long list. That is the leading indicator that business is doing well. Let's see, we have Red Team, David Holly, Anna Lee, Christina Kim, Tracy and Lorna, Stefan, Tiffany, Eileen Lanza, Jeffrey Perlman, and G Sun all have new escrows that they opened this week. Great job, guys. Great job. Closed leases for Dragona, Carlos, and Russell Roney. Congratulations on your new leases. New listings. Ba-ba-da-ba. Gina has a new listing on Harvard Boulevard. It's coming soon. It's not in the MLS yet. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1463. Gina, if you're on there and you want to talk about that, please jump in. I don't have the whole list of people, but if anybody's listing comes up and they want to talk, just jump in. I don't want to be the only voice on it. Go ahead. Moon has a new listing on Grand Avenue. It's a 2 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,920 square feet for 1.525. Congratulations. Also, LA Residence has a new listing in Santa Monica on 2nd Street, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,400 square foot lease for let's try that again, $6,750 a month. For those who don't know, Residence LA is Gerardo and Michael Flanagan. Heidi Davis, Harper, a lease, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,650 square feet for $4,400 per month on duplex. Jim Cohn is 611 North Bronson, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,960 square feet for $1,099,000. It's a beautiful architectural. This is Jim's personal residence. I know anybody who's interested, it's really quite beautiful. It's a lot of square footage. Also, Dragona has a lease on Santa Fe. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,250 square feet loft for $3,300 per month.
Can I tune in, Joey?
Yes, Dragona, jump right in there.
I have actually 3 new listings in the same complex, and there is actually a few more available units there as well. This is a new project that I took on. This is a great, amazing complex in Arts District in, like downtown LA, and very, very unique. It was conversion from, its previous industrial past. There's several buildings in the complex, about 70 units altogether, all a loft style, some single level, some split level, some townhomes. Very beautiful, with all preserved original details, amazing beams and brick walls, and you'll see on a couple of photographs that are coming up. They range from 2,500 to about 42. And what's really special about this unit, especially now in COVID time, and in downtown area, it's literally like the grounds have been transformed into like a park-like setting. There's like multiple gardens, like sitting areas, like barbecues. It has its own private, like dog, like off leash park. And there is amazing restaurants. So like Bestia is part of this complex, and it's walking distance from many other like amazing galleries, restaurants, cafe. Very, very unique lifestyle. And if anybody has someone, like looking for something very special and interesting, please let me know. I'd be happy to arrange a showing.
Great. I love all the beams. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this one especially.
Another unit in there. Oh,
this is another unit there, and it has like this amazing like steel, like superstructure, like on on the ceiling and also on the walls. They're just like high-end finishes,
cool.
like high-end, like appliances, like really, really great and very unique units.
beautiful, beautiful. Keep on going. Is this more in the same?
It was all, so.
Oh, wee. All right, there we go. Oh, that's the exterior has,
That's exterior one. There's literally 5 buildings. Each building is completely like different. And on each listing, I have like many photographs of the whole complex. So just off of like Santa Fe and close to the 7th Street bridge.
excellent. Red Real Estate has a property in North Hollywood on Irvine, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,930 square feet for $1.3 million, 1.299. Tracy, you want to talk about Riverside?
Yay, I didn't even realize that'd be on there. Yeah, I literally just got everything signed late last night. It is a townhouse style, and we don't have a price yet. So that's why I didn't tell you guys yet. But it's townhouse style in Valley Village, right on the Sherman Oaks Valley Village border. It is really well done, completely remodeled inside. The kitchen is super modern. It overlooks the living area and dining area. Like I said, 2-bedroom, 3-bath. All the bathrooms are also redone. I'm gonna go get pictures of it probably within the next week or so that I can put up, and we can talk about it a little more. But I am open to previewing anyone in my office if you'd like to see it before it even hits the market. So let me know. It will probably be around 600. You know, like I said, it's townhouse style. It's really, really nicely done.
Perfect.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Joseph Lee has a beauty on 1738 5th Street, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,382 square feet for $1.2 million.
Can I say something about the listing? Sure. The owner, like previous owner, made a nice update after the fire that they had. And the owner, this owner, my client, they updated the floor. And also on back of the house, they have a small storage which they made another bedroom. So it's unofficially 6-bedroom, 3-bath. And the house is really nicely done. So you must see it. You must see it.
Beautiful. Looks nice from the outside. Ah, look at this beauty. Marisa, is Marisa on?
I'm here. Hi, guys.
Hi. You want to talk about this? This is one of your.
Yes. These are my restorationist clients, Saxony Design Build. So they purchased this beautiful Queen Anne in July. We call it the Cole Mansion. They totally restored it top to bottom and added their own stuff that wasn't there anymore. Anyway, it's stunning. It's the application as the historical cultural monument has been submitted. Nathan Cole Jr. was one of the founders of the Los Angeles Times. So this is his house. It's in Highland Park. It's in the Garvanza HPOZ. It's 6-bedroom, 4 full baths. All the bathrooms have clawfoot tubs. It's stunning. The woodwork is amazing. It's a really gorgeous house. The issue is, that's why it's only at 1698. The issue is it's right off of Figueroa. It's on 41st Street. So it's literally this, it's a second building in. But it's quite a showpiece.
It's gorgeous. What is that green wall to the right on the?
That's the wall they painted. So that is that's going towards Figueroa, and that's actually like a storefront. So this house was actually on Figueroa in 1888. It was built in 1888, and then it was moved onto 41st Street. So it was turned. But there's a good sized backyard, and the rest of the neighborhood is mostly houses. This is the most grand. A lot of them are 2-story. This is 3-story. So that turret they made into a bathroom. It's like if you sit on the toilet, you'll never have a better view on a toilet in your life. I mean, it's really amazing. It's beautiful. It'll go on the market. We're just waiting for the DWP to flip the wire. So hopefully Friday or Saturday, and then you can go and look at all the pictures.
I can't wait to see the pictures. Yeah, if you met me in my mid to late 20s, this would be my dream house when I was, my East Coast sensibility. This is where it was, this kind of restoration project. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, here we are, Barry. How you doing? What words? So I'm gonna Tim. Are you still there?
Yeah, here. Absolutely.
I'm gonna turn it over to Tim to introduce Barry. Would you like to introduce Barry?
Really?
Really?
Fan.
I am. I'm a big fan. I'd worked with Barry, not this last year, but I guess previous to that, and I thought it was great. I really did. It helps you get in that mindset and kind of clear all the clutter out of your mind and get yourself focused and calm and settled. I really enjoyed it, Barry.
Thank you.
So without further ado, take it away.
Nice. Can I have the screen back?
You want to share?
Just get me off that, because I have my own screen.
You don't want to see your face. Is that what you're saying?
Things too. Oh no, I'm okay with that. That's really not the issue. Okay, Mindy, hi. God, as I said in the chat, you are ubiquitous. You are all over the place. For those, the rest of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting, let me give you the 20 to 30 second backup of where I come from, so you'll know exactly. And I want to clear with Joey. Do I have 30 minutes? I don't want to.
Don't have 30 minutes, but here's what we do. How about if you, let's do it. Let's see what time is it. 11:46. How about if you do like 5 minutes now, and then at the end of the meeting, anybody who wants to stay on for you to do 30 minutes, I'm happy to just let it go. How's that? Let me get all the business out of the way. And then you do your little teaser, and then you could do your 30 minutes at the end there. How's that?
Okay, here's a teaser in the way of an introduction and also the kind of thing I focus on. I played semi-pro ball poorly enough for 5 years, couldn't make the cut for the New York Giants or the Dodgers when they were in Brooklyn. I'm an East Coast guy. And so I jumped back into college. And the 2 master's programs that I took were in psychology. One was in neuroscience, how the brain interacts with every part of your system, and obviously it does. And these are things that you can do to make an immediate difference. And they're little hacks. Let me give you for instance, here's my 5 minutes or less. Would everybody please take a deep breath in through your mouth and out through your mouth. Excellent breathing. Okay, now this time, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Now the second way is infinitely more healthy and gives you more benefits in other ways as well. Do you know why? well, you're all muted, so it's a rhetorical question. I'll give you the answer. One of the reasons is the cilia in the nostrils, those are the nose hairs, filter out just like the filter would be in your home. You change the filter periodically because it gets cruddy. So it doesn't do a complete job of all the pathogens that are around us, but it is a filter. So just remember when you're washing your face, put a little soap up your nostrils. Not the important thing that I want to get to. When you breathe air in, the air goes past the sinus passageways. It has been proven over the past 4 or 5 years that as air goes past the sinus passageways dump approximately 50% or more oxygen into the air that eventually gets into your lungs, that is disseminated out to every cell in your body. So for pure just oxygenation, that's great. Athletes, endurance athletes, are taught to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, because the oxygen stays in the lungs just a tad longer than giving it a full exhale. And when you're at elite levels, that kind of makes a difference. It may not make a difference for you unless you really do endurance things. That's not the most important thing. Nose breathers, and you can train yourself to be a nose breather in those conscious moments that you're breathing, your mouth is hanging down, just shut it and learn to breathe through your nose, because people who specifically breathe through their nose most of the time have a tendency of massaging the organs in the lower diaphragm. When those organs are moving, because the breath generally goes deeper into the breathing spaces that you have there in the lower portions of your lungs, that massage keeps those organs moving the way that they should. Mouth breathers breathe more shallow, according to studies that have been done, and do not have the same positive effect in the lower diaphragmatic area. But here's the most important reason that I want to get to. When you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, you create friction, right? Air is moving, so there's resistance over a surface. And up around here, around mid-forehead or so, the air comes in and it creates a slight vibration in the skull, whose job it is to protect your brain, obviously. So the skull vibrates ever so slightly, but it matters because on the other side of the skull, in the cranial area, is your brain. The front portion of your brain is the most sophisticated portion of your brain. It is called the neocortex. It is what you do your critical thinking with. And sometimes, now here's the transition into where it makes a difference business-wise. Every once in a while, you have a peak experience, a blow your head off kind of presentation. Maybe you're on a golf course and you just strike it perfectly and it goes exactly where you're telling it to go. Every once in a while, it's the great sex. And every once in a while, it's some other just outstanding, extraordinary thing that you come away with a yes kind of feeling. All too often, we do those same kinds of experiences and they're kind of mediocre. We could phone those things in. People who are critically focused on what they're doing and are really paying attention, may I use the terms being in the moment, being present, being mindful. You get this stuff, out the yin yang all day long from coaches and trainers and what have you. How you do that is before a presentation that's important for you to do well. Before you make a contact, sphere of influence, referral, doesn't really matter. Before you do anything that's important, counseling somebody in your family, learn to go through a little routine of breathing in and out through your nose slowly, maybe 3 times, there's no magic to it. And because you are then focusing in on breath, your metabolism slows down. You come away from frenzied kinds of thinking because your focusing is on your breath. Your brain activity goes from a beta, 15 to 23 cycles per second, to an alpha, that's 7 to 14. And that's where you have excellence. That's where peak performances have been gauged. And this is done not just scientifically, but in the real world as top performers engage in whatever that they do. So if you want to come from the best, take a few deep breaths in, and because you are focused and you have your attention, silently and in superlative terms, tell yourself how you're going to perform in the upcoming activity. So you might tell yourself, in this listing presentation, I'll ask appropriate questions. I will listen well. I will close assertively and remain calm and relaxed throughout. That might be a nice script, because the last thoughts you have going into an experience is generally those that you're going to follow through with. A student who is prepared going into a test with a defeatist attitude will generally get in their own way. They'll create bumps and resistance along the way and not have the kind of access to their memory. That's what stress and cortisone does. But if you go in with a positive attitude, you may not be the most brilliant in the room, but at least you have access to what you have studied and what you need to do presently. Same thing holds true with presentations, or maybe chats with family members who really need to be listened to and counseled and coached well. But to be present, the simple thing, create a routine where you take a few deep breaths in, silently in superlative terms, tell yourself how you're going to perform. Take a breath and go on about your business. Play the round of golf, play that game of tennis, do whatever it is that you do in your business world. So it's a little hack, and I've got a gazillion more if you want to hang with me for about 20, 30 more minutes after this meeting is over, as Joey had said. So, hopefully that's a nice little teaser, but it's something bottom line that you can use. This is not frivolous crap. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, have a good rest of the meeting, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you for the intro, Tim.
Barry, thank you so
Absolutely.
much. You got a bunch of accolades in the chat bar there, and we only have like we have like 5 more minutes to go, right? And then we'll just leave it open for anybody who wants to hang out with Barry for a half hour, which will not be a waste of your time. Let me tell you. You will enjoy every moment of it. All right, so wants, needs, fill the bucket. Let me just go through. There was a couple in the chat here. I see there was a couple pocket listing. Gina has a pocket listing, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in Pasadena, 1,200 square feet, low HOA near Lake Avenue. Called Gina Ibarola. She's in the chat bar there. And also Jacqueline Chance, I believe, had something. Jacqueline has coming up a 660 square foot home in Highland Park coming soon, just north of York. Call Jacqueline if you have a client that's coming in for that. Who else has something?
Hey, Jerry.
Lena has a new tick launching. Yeah, talk about it, Lena.
Yeah, it's a baby bit premature, but I wanted to just bring it to the table because I just got a rendering. I'm working on a new Tenants in Common fourplex near USC on Browning Boulevard. There are 4 units, 2 are complete. We just have to do the landscaping. The back units are small, but are going to be priced really, really well. And the beauty of this building is a couple of things. Each unit is going to have private outside space, which is very unusual for the ticks. And also the building has not been Ellis acted, which means you can buy this as an investment. It does not have to be owner occupied. And although one of the units is like first time home buyer, single person, it's small, it's about 425 square feet. It has a 160-foot deck that opens from the living room with views of the Hollywood sign. And I've told the builder, the garages are so nice, I want to move into it. They have exposed brick walls, and he re-drywalled everything. So, and then the second unit is about the same size on top, but it has a second piece to it with a private bathroom and another room, and that'll be about 650 square feet. We're still working on the pricing. It could be somewhere between 375 and 425 for these 1-in-1s. And then he's building 2 beautiful 2 and 2s in the front, almost 1,000 square feet each. So it is ready. I'm thinking if I have a few people interested, we can do a little sort of broker caravan because the units are complete. As I said, we're just landscaping and then staging. We'll be live hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We have some details to finish up. But if anybody's interested, let me know. They're on Browning Boulevard near USC.
Great, thank you, Lena.
Lena, I have a question.
Yes.
Has anything changed in terms of financing for TICS? Is it still just going through Sterling and?
Yes, right now it's still going that way. I've been reaching out to some LA lenders. We've heard a little bit of rumors that some people were going to do it and trying to see if we can get anybody on board. But right now that is the case. The smaller unit, however, this is just information if people, Sterling Bank has new management and they just made a rule change, which is anything under 600 square feet. For right now, they will not finance. So our smaller unit will be owner finance, seller finance, and then the other unit will be Sterling or NCB or cash, of course. And Sterling does allow 10% down. NCB is more like 20 to 25% down. As I said, the price points for starter homes for young couples or a young individual professional, and these places have been taken down to the studs. That's the other thing. That is not normally what happens in these older TICs. They do work, they take it to a level, but they're not taken to the studs. So there's a lot of pluses to this property.
How much down will the owner do?
I don't know yet. I'm meeting with him tomorrow. We have some details to work out. Sterling, that 600 square foot piece is a new piece since Christmas. And anybody who's selling TICs, smaller units, is figuring out options for those because there are some TICs that are under that 600 square feet. And they're not making any, there's no workarounds. I've tried.
Got it. All right, great job, Luna. You've been working on that for a while. Anybody else wants, needs, fill the bucket?
Yeah, Joey, hi, it's Tim.
Hey, Tim.
We've got a new, we're in escrow with a new buyer for a brand new small lot subdivision townhouse in the West Hollywood area. And my buyer wants to, once they close escrow on it, expand one of the bathrooms to put in a tub and a dual sink, dual vanity. So if anybody has a really, a general contractor who can specialize in luxury bathroom expansion, I'd love to have the name of that contractor. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Anyone else?
I have a fill the bucket.
Sure.
I'd like to fill the bucket for you, Joey.
Oh, geez.
Because the other night, how everything's changing so quickly. And I highly recommend for those of you who have buyers and show your buyer a property before going back and being like, oh, we can write the offer tomorrow. Look it back up on the MLS real quick because agents are changing things. And I showed a property. We came home. I thought we had some time. I look and it says offers due by 9 a.m. next morning. That was not on there in the morning when I went and showed the property. So they changed their time frame. So I immediately had to plow through it, write an offer super late at night. And it was like a trust form. It was something I had not written an offer on before. And, I just wanted another set of eyeballs on it. And Joey, so sweetly, I texted him. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's a little late. And he got on the phone and he reassured me that it was easy peasy. And it was, he just reaffirmed what I kind of already knew, but it felt good. So I want to thank you, Joey, for helping me with that because I had no time to have anyone else take a look at it. And I really appreciate that. So, and as a note to everybody, really double check when you come back because I've noticed it on 2 or 3 of the things I've shown where the agent has gone in and because there's been such interest, they just canceled all other showings and you have to have it in within hours. So please be aware.
Yeah, no, they will change too. And they get a greater response than they expected. And they're like, oh my God, like we have 5 offers and there's another 10 people say they're writing offers, and and I have offers due by Tuesday and it's Sunday, right? And so they're like, that's enough. And so, yeah, keep an eye on the timelines. And they should communicate that. If you're on the seller side, if there's changes in that timelines, please try and communicate it to people. But, there's always a variation in integrity, right? Thank you, Tracy. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have, it was on the coming soon, but it's gonna be on the MLS tomorrow or Friday, no later than Friday, because we just finished updating, and we just took a picture today in the morning. It's a condo in Westwood, south of Wilshire. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 693 square feet for 520,000. It's nicely done. Only 1 common wall. It's really quiet and like a resort style condo, really nice.
Excellent. All right. Anybody who has a need for a condo in Westwood, give Joseph a call. Anybody else? We're here. All right, guys. Well, have a great week. Like I said, Barry's going to stay on. We're going to keep Barry going. Anybody, I would encourage you all to stay and enjoy and learn from Barry. He is great value. That's why I continue to have him here in our office meetings, right? All right. So have a great week. I get to jump for a meeting, but enjoy Barry as a gift.
Well,
Thank you.
And hang around because I'm going to give you a free program of your choice at the end. So hang with me for a while. I think you'll find the time pretty valuable. So am I ready to go, Joey?
The show is all yours.
I am all cranked up and ready to go. So I gave you a little taste of what neuroscience kind of brings to the table to create excellence in the moment. And moments really matter. And especially this past year, which has obviously been a strain for a lot of people. And even if you're doing well, and God hope, that everybody is doing well and is healthy, we were not developed as human beings to make the kinds of changes that we are called on to make. So some people make those changes easily, graciously, and some people make those changes kicking and screaming. And we know that the tension, the energy levels are rising more and more. There's more rebellion, there's more just divisiveness, etc. So here are some things that may be maybe game changers for you, maybe not game changers, but it all has to do with the idea in neuroscience of brain plasticity. The idea that we have a constantly growing brain. We have the capacity to learn well into our 60s, 70s, 80s. The brain cells that you lose are literally regenerated. It's called neurogenesis is the term for it. So these are little things that can make some very big differences. Let me give you an idea. And I've got about 9 or 10 things to go through. If anybody has any questions, you can hang to the end or put them in a chat and I'll get back, or we can talk later in the day, whatever your pleasure is. So I want to make the time efficient. One of the things to consider is this. Our brains work off the burning of glucose and oxygen. And when the glucose and oxygen kind of runs down because the brain is really moving, it's moving and grooving all the time, we don't use 10% of our brains. It's been pretty proven that we use 80 to 85% of our total brain capacity, whether you're giving a presentation or whether you're sound asleep. If you're doing something, maybe you add a few percentages to that. But this brain that is comprised of fatty tissue works off glucose and oxygen. My point is this: if you work off a schedule in the course of your day and a to-do list, and you prioritize them as A, B's, and C's, most important, et cetera, kind of common sense to do that. It's hard not to in a busy world, even in a Zoom busy world. If you can prioritize your most important things earlier on in the day, you will generally approach those things with more energy. There are some things that you do and you walk away and you say, wow, that was just really dynamite. Sometimes when you've really expended yourself on a lot of other things that are menial by comparison, you've expended the energy, and when you finally get to something that you're doing, it's kind of a haphazard kind of thing that you're doing. So think about that anyway. Do the most important things early on in the day. For most people, that works with their circadian rhythm, and it works with how we burn energy. Which leads me to my point number 2, is to stay on as regular a schedule as you can. The circadian rhythm, that's the ebb and flow of energy in the course of your day, your biorhythms, if you will, depending on this seminar that you might have taken or the book that you've read, are important to maintain. Going to sleep at approximately the same time, waking up at approximately the same time, allows you to cycle through, especially your sleep, in proper ways. The ways that we have been developed over the last 100 to 200,000 years is that we sleep 7-8 hours per night. That consists of about 5 sleep cycles in which you go through an alpha, theta, delta. Each has its performance assigned to it. If you upset that, you upset how memory is stored in your short-term memory, in your hippocampus, how it's delivered to your long-term memory, your thalamus, and that happens in deeper sleeps. So if you're sleeping consistently well, what you're doing is you're reinforcing your endocrine system and your lymph system. You have lymph nodes throughout your body. They store up toxicity as you go through your world and as you go through your day. Not that you're filled with toxins, but the body is designed to eliminate it. So how it predominantly does that, it holds the toxins in the nodes. And when you're in an alpha sleep at night, a REM sleep, is when those nodes literally open up and allow the toxicity to enter the blood system. It's not an icky thing. It is how we're designed for efficiency. So you eliminate and evacuate that in the morning. If you interrupt the REM sleep at night, the probability is that you're hanging on to more toxicity than you need. And over a period of time, it is obviously deleterious to your health. So concentrate on sleeping the same amount of hours approximately. This is not a hard, fast rule, and feel guilty if you're, staying up an extra hour or so, but these are basic guidelines. Your endocrine system deals with your moods. And if you interrupt your sleep at night or don't get quality sleep, and I can help you with that, and it won't cost you anything, but just stay with me. Your endocrine system creates your moods. When it is messed with, your moods can fluctuate high and low. So if you find yourself out of sorts, now some people are living alone and some people living with families that they love, but over the past 10 months have learned to periodic, blow up at, because, as the wife said, I married you for better or worse, but not for lunch. So when we're around people all the time, the norm becomes different. Your physiological reactions and mental reactions change. And if your sleep is impaired, plaque and tangles in the brain, these are unburned proteins, have a tendency of staying, and you get things like brain fog. You get poor access to memory, and it's an open door to dementia and Alzheimer's. So good sleep patterns, good patterns during the day, really important. There's a book that was written by an Admiral, William McRaven. It's called Make Your Bed. And it talks about the consistency of your day, creating small wins, because your confidence is elevated every time you do things and you do it to completion. So it doesn't have to be major things, but stay consistent. Here's something that's really interesting, and it's not a surprise. Eat well. Well, in the best of times and the worst of times, what you put into your body as fuel matters. But in this time and day and age of comfort foods, which are basically processed foods, high salt, high sugar, junk, good to have once in a while. It's a good go-to. But when the go-to becomes normal, then you got a problem. By all the neuroscientists who have done the studies, they say the Mediterranean diet is the most important one to stick to. You don't have to do it religiously. You're not going to fall off the end of the earth if you eat some, piece of junk or whatever it is. But getting your proper proteins, proper oils, getting your proper veggies and fruits and whole grain, breads. If you know what a Mediterranean diet is, great. If you're not quite sure about it, Google it up. There's a one page on anything that you go, any website. It's not hard. But if it influences your purchase at the supermarket, or if you're having it delivered, purchasing how you're ordering, or if you're dining outdoors, or whatever the new laws are today, because they're changing, obviously. If that list comes to mind and you make the proper choice in the moment, and the proper choice in the moment, this moment is the only one that you have. If you make a good choice, you remember that. If the next time that you order, or the next time that you're preparing food, you make another good choice, those choices have a tendency of culminating into something that can be a very nice pattern. And foods that serve your brain are foods that serve your heart. And the Mediterranean diet is the one that is mostly touted if you have any issues, either in your family history or in your present history. Here are a couple of supplements that I would have you take a look at. Not just do them blindly because I'm saying so, because who am I? But in 1998, there were three people who shared the Nobel Prize for Chemistry and Medicine. One of them is a guy who is still working as a research chemist. As far as I know, I've met him a couple of times. His name is Louis Ignarro. Louis Ignarro and two other folks developed the compound that creates more nitric oxide in your body. The more oxygen you have in your body, the better. Especially in COVID days, what do they give people when they go to the hospital? Before they intubate and stick a tube down so it facilitates breathing, they put them on oxygen. Some people have oxygen at home. If you're concerned at all, or if you just want an energy boost, because this is what high performance athletes do, and the product initially in 1998 was created for people who had strokes or heart attacks. It wasn't for athletes. That's not what you get a Nobel Prize for in medicine and chemistry. It's because you're saving lives and making a positive impact. But if it's good for that situation of heart and brain, why the heck not supplement that? So what you may buy on the shelf in whatever store you go to, and I'm not touting a brand, but do your homework. And if it seems right, do it for about 90 days. I think you're going to find a difference. It's something that I've been literally, I want to say on, for about at least a dozen years, if not longer than that. And I think it makes a difference in my physical workouts. It makes a difference in my energy levels. And why the hell not opt for that for a couple of bucks a month? There's some things that can really make a difference. Here's something else that can make a difference. Pre and probiotics. If you're already not on that, there's a difference between them, and you can Google them up without a lot of tutelage on my part. But pre and probiotics help the digestion of foods. It creates more positive reaction in the mitochondria in your gut. We've got trillions of gut mitochondria is what they're referred to. Now, here's an interesting thing. It's not just about digestion. It's about how you think critically. In your skull, in your brain, you've got about 100 billion brain cells and the infinite number of connections through the synapse and the dendrites and the axons. Fascinating stuff. Or maybe I'm just a nerd. That could be, but I find it fascinating how things work. So interestingly enough, hopefully for you, in your gut, you've got about 100 million of those exact same configured brain cells. Did you know you had a brain in your stomach? Well, when you talk about gut reactions, what happens is all of your senses process what has just taken place. A loud noise, something pops up on a screen that kind of takes you aback. What happens is you experience that in your gut, and your gut is connected to your brain, and specifically the amygdala portion of the brain. That's the fight or flight. That's the primitive portion of the brain. It's connected through a nerve that is called the vagus nerve, VEGUS. So you get within milliseconds an impulse from your gut to that primitive portion of the brain. Within the next few milliseconds, that information is transferred to the cortex, and specifically the neocortex, for critical thinking. Will this harm me? Is this something I'm compelled to and I will smile about? Or is this something causing resistance? So it's really kind of interesting to keep your gut clean and really take care of the mitochondria there. So the Mediterranean diet is really designed for that, but so are pre and probiotics. One creates more live tissue there to digest, and the other supports the existing pro. You can figure that part of it out. When you produce feelings about people, recognize that about 90% of the serotonin that is produced in your body is not produced in your head. 90% of bonding takes place in your gut. So take care of what you eat, how you eat. This is not supposed to be a guilt trip, but make a better choice here or there. Drinking lots of water obviously makes a big difference in how you process everything. Here's another no big surprise to you. Exercise daily. It's not just the slow walk that neuroscientists talk about. It's being able to fog a mirror, doing something that causes you to breathe a little bit heavier, to literally spark the endocrine system within your body, the endocannabinoid system within your body. Those activate your pleasure centers. People who do a little bit more aggressive kind of exercise, not just the slow and easy thing, and tell yourself you're doing something terrific for yourself. To be sure you are. It's better than just sitting on a couch and watching the boob tube, or just doing business glued to a tube 10 hours every day or more. So kudos to anybody who is up and active, gardening, all that kind of stuff. But doing something that gets you huffing and puffing does a bigger service to your entire system. Your T cells are elevated. Those are the white cells in your blood that literally fight off, and they're part of your immune system. They fight off disease. When you exercise with consistency, you don't just get a bounce in that immune factor, but that immune factor stays at higher levels. So being a weekend warrior and exercising heavily on a Sunday is not going to do much of anything. If you do it on a daily or every other kind of day, it really does make a difference. In your endocannabinoid system, it increases the density of those brain cells, which transfer pleasure to different portions of your brain, which means exercise can have an impact in how you're dealing with your family, how you're dealing with your, your life in general. So let me go on. My number 5, establish relationships with people, not just, hey, how you doing? Are you interested in buying, selling, or leasing today? You know, it's like the old stick a business card in the door and run like hell before the people open it up so you don't have to confront them. Over the past 100 to 200,000 years, we have become agrarian-based as societies all around the world. People share stories, whether they're spiritual, whether they're religious, whether they have to do with history, family, otherwise. People have a need. It is a built-in neurological mechanism. It is a need to be able to speak and to be heard. When you're connecting with people, it is not just your initial conversation and checking off 25 calls and you're done for the day. The idea is relationships. And who do people have relationships with? People they trust. When you ask more personal questions, when you get a little deeper into the weeds in a conversation, you're allowing people to be what they are manifest to be. They don't have that ability in large parts of their world. If you're the person they open up to, you're the worst person that they trust. It is about creating more serotonin and oxytocin. We're just a bag of chemicals, and we can convey that through conversation. So be a good listener. Raise your EQ faction. I do a whole seminar on developing emotional intelligence, which is far more than knowing everything there is to know about business and real estate. You can learn those things, but people skills of listening and reacting and responding, being present, those are things that a lot of people have to learn. You can learn it by reading, you can learn by experience, you can learn by doing my seminar. I'm not even charging for this stuff, but these are important notes to take. Your memory reinforces, look over the information in about 2 days. Long-term memory, review all the information just briefly, because it'll make more sense as you continue to add layers of that information in about 30 days. That's the long-term part of it. Learn to relax and learn to let go of negativity. When you find a negative thought, and we all have them, you know, everybody glad hands and everybody smiles at office meetings like this, Zoom or otherwise, but everybody has a life. And to be really fair and to really be open and honest about it, we all have misgivings every once in a while. It doesn't mean that we dwell on them necessarily, but some people do more so than is really kind of healthy. So when you find yourself doing something that is just going down that dark rabbit hole, you have to intercede. At that moment of consciousness where you recognize where you are and you're not solving a problem anymore, but you're just kind of dwelling in the woe is me kind of darkness of what you're not doing and the things that haven't worked and all of that junk that happens, divert yourself. Look at a painting on a wall. Look outside at some pretty greenery that you might have there. Smell something, do something that changes your mind in that moment. Because if you stay in that moment, those moments will persist, they will go deeper, and they will become more prevalent. I put out a newsletter yesterday. Please do email me at barryeisen@gmail.com. I'll send it to you. It's based on smiling. Studies have shown that if you're feeling crappy, just smile. Do it for 30 to 60 seconds every morning to start your day. Put a grin on your face because your mind interprets the grin as something real and it triggers the pleasure centers. In fact, I challenge you now to put a dopey grin on your face and think of something negative. It is really difficult to do. So I'm just saying, change the stinking thinking into something that works for you, not just in the moment because I was feeling so garbagey and that guy said smile and I didn't, I'm a happy guy now. But it is the pattern with which you live your life. You don't let the tail wag the dog. You control what's going on. And it's easy to slip into a dark moment, but it's just as easy to create a reaction that takes you out of it almost instantaneously. So you're the better version of who you are. Does that make sense? Here's something that I want to do. I talked about relaxation, and I don't want to spend more time than I said I was going to. So for those of you or whoever is controlling this, go to my website, barryeisen.com. Can somebody do that? Just lay out the screen. Okay, now when you get to that home page, what I'd like you to do is click on Programs. One of the things that I started with when I went back to the master's programs in college, and that was certainly decades ago, was hypnosis. I have probably done more hypnosis sessions for people than anybody in the country. One, because I am obviously a geezer, and number two, because I've been doing what I'm doing since 1972. I've worked with tens of thousands of people, and most of them I have done hypnosis sessions for. It's part of the coaching that I do. I do personal coaching, changing habits and attitudes. That's my focus. You can learn your business from Ed and from other people who are your coaches within your system. But learning the business, there is still the 80-20 concept. No matter how much you learn, it is attitude, not aptitude. 20% of people in any group of people will do 80% of the work. And everybody's got an even playing field. Yeah, there's my little silly thing there. Okay, so you can get involved with the free download and all that. It's a 2-minute video and I'm doing the yada, yada, yada thing. But here's something I want to give you so I can sum up and not keep you any longer than I had mentioned before. Click on Programs. You see across the top next to my name and script. If you click on Programs, go down to the very bottom one, Hypnosis Downloads and CD Programs. Now this will relate to only downloads. You'll see 13 titles on that page. It's kind of cut off. And each one is a full program with 2 tracks. The first track is behavior modification, very specific information. I am not a rah-rah kind of guy. You can just jack up an individual or a group of people, momentarily, and then left to the devices of their own world. They go back to their own mindset. So what I deal with is the how-tos of making small shifts in consciousness that make huge bottom line differences. So track number 1 would be 25 to 30 minutes of solid information that you can use. Do this, this will happen. Do this, cause and effect. I mean, that's what life is, right? The second track is a hypnosis session that will reinforce whatever the title is. So whether it's Sales Dynamics 102, self-image, non-smoking, you can see the titles. Go through them. If you have any curiosity, maybe somebody in your family, but here's the free offer. Don't buy them through the website. You get one free. Now, if you want more than that, they're $12. So, get real. It's not break the bank time. And it's solid researched information that I think if you found what I've said so far interesting, this is more of that interest, but it's focused in those specific areas. But select one of those and send me an email, barryeisen@gmail.com. Hardly gets easier. On the subject line, just put the number of the CD of the download that you want, or spell it out in letters. That's all I need. I will reply, sending you the links, or in the case of 107, Restful Sleep is only one. It's a sleep tape that will literally put you to sleep. You will create more organically positive sleep cycles. Very popular, very, very important as well. It's solid. So anyway, if you have sleep issues, energy issues, get that one. Other than that, you can read the titles, but you get that one. And you got to do this by Friday, 5 o'clock. Has to be some sense of urgency. Today is Wednesday. So, in that period of time, instead of getting lackadaisical, go to the site, do your little bit of research. You'll find it interesting. Select one, send me the email. Here's something else that I want to give you if you find this to be of interest. I've worked with some of you guys on a one-on-one basis, or as part of my seminar, I do a personalized hypnosis session. So whoever is pushing the buttons, hit program once again, please. Or did you fall asleep? Hit programs, and the second one down, you'll find personalized hypnosis session. So if you're doing it on your own or at some subsequent time, that's fine. You'll see that I do personalized sessions reinforcing New Year's resolutions, reinforcing whatever it is that you've got as business or personal goals. I've done this literally tens of thousands of times. The response is quite extraordinary. There's some people within your midst who have gone through this particular process. You'll see on that page of personalized hypnosis sessions that the cost is $125. If you act by, it sounds like a television commercial, doesn't it? I'm so sorry. But there is an incentive that if you act by Friday, 5 o'clock, I'll knock $25 off. The website is not designed to handle that. So just send me an email where you show interest. I'll follow it up and get you started in the process where you send me a list of goals. We'll talk about those goals for clarity and specificity. And then I'll record the session for you, send it back in an MP3, in an audio file, and you will never find anything in personal growth that is tailored and as powerful as this specific tool. That's what it is. So I hope you take advantage of it. It's $100 for you by Friday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Other than that, if there are, boy, there's a lot of stuff in chat. You want to unmute yourself if you want to and just have a free-for-all. We can kind of go through any questions that you may have. I'm looking
Hey,
at
Barry, this is Ed Morrell. There's a few of us who are trying to, when you were speaking about the substance that increases the oxygen level, I think we figured it out that it's nitric oxide. Is that correct?
Yes, not nitrous oxide. That's what the dentists used to use as laughing gas.
Sure.
It's quite different, yes.
So we found I saw some product on Amazon, like Super Beat kind of thing that has nitric oxide. Is that kind of
That
along
kind
those
of
lines?
thing. I use a powder from Herbalife, but there are a lot of the Super Beat kind of thing. They put it in different forms. It's a different, infomercial wise, it's just a different appeal, but it triggers nitric oxide to be built within the body. You don't buy it and ingest it. It creates it in your system. Yes, thanks for that question. What else does anybody have that's of specific interest to somebody? Yes,
Barry?
Yes. Yes.
I was curious, have you heard of Arbonne products?
I have. I know a distributor. They moved from California to Nashville recently, but I've heard of them, never have really developed or gotten into them. Do you have a point to make on that, Clint?
Well, the thing is that they are fizz sticks that are supposed to be good for your mind and your energy. And I know someone that's also selling them on the side of being aside from being a realtor. So I just wondered what you thought of them.
I have no comment on that one specifically, but there are so many, used to be ginkgo biloba was the main go-to. Now there are so many neural kind of waker-uppers.
Yeah.
Some of them deal with the nervous system, some deals with, blood flow. Niacin for some people sometimes can make you really tingle, but in the proper quantities can get more blood flow going. And that's really what it is, making the neurological connections by the stimulation. I take something and have for a while, and it has to do with memory. So I can't remember the name of the specific ingredient of it. But you experiment with this or that, variables are such that everybody processes not just information, but metabolic input so much differently. You just find something that works for you. But you really have to let your system get used to it for a couple of months to be able to recognize the before and after. Because today you take something, you remember somebody's name, it's because I've done this. That's crap, the kind of television commercials that you see. And now I remember names, Mahatma Gandhi. It doesn't mean that you've made a change. It means you've made a connection. But okay, I don't want to overdo that. Who else has anything else? Hey, Yvette Millman, are you related to a Mark Millman at all?
No, I'm not.
Okay, that's a close friend of mine locally. I thought I might have even met you at one of their parties. Who else has a question? Anybody? So look, get the free download. please do that. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you don't relate to those titles, get it for somebody in your family. The links are sendable and there's no strings attached. If you want the personalized session, just let me know by 5 o'clock on Friday, and you'll find it to be one of the more powerful things that you've experienced for $100. Geez, and if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. So it's not about the money. It's just a matter of keeping the wheels on track or getting back on track, because you can be more than you are right now. So can I. This is not a pejorative. So to exercise what we can be, you got to stretch out, do things you haven't done before, and make those things comfortable and extraordinary, because that's what life is. Even in the midst of the crap that's going on now, you know, there's still great stuff happening. So unless you have anything else, I don't want to just endlessly. So I just thank you for staying with me, the 21 people that are still there.
Thank you,
And,
Barry.
My pleasure. It's always good to see you, Mindy. You're a bright light. So thanks everybody for your support and for your time. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. It's fantastic.
You're applauding. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much. I know I took a lot out of it.
I'm leaving the meeting. Get me my my email address if you want to chat specifically. Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see y'all soon.
Thank you, Ed. Have a happy birthday next week.
Thanks, Mindy. Take care.
Happy birthday, man.